All right, class, this morning we will be working again with the Hunger Games. However, our I can statement today is I can determine the theme or central idea. Tell me if you know what the theme or central idea is. Andrea?
The central idea is basically where everything comes together.
Okay, Andrea says she thinks the central idea is where everything comes together. Anyone else would like to add to that? Allie?
Well, it's kind of like not basically what the story is all about, but it's kind of like telling me what's happening and stuff.
Okay, Allie says she thinks it tells what's happening. Austin?
I think it's
Okay, Austin says he thinks it's telling what's going to happen in the story. In fact, the theme or central idea is the message that we get from what we read. Sometimes people like to connect main idea and theme. However, they are two different things. Main idea is the focus of one particular subject. What is the overall point? Theme or central idea is the message that you get from what you've read. So today, that's what we want to be able to say at the end of this lesson, is that I can determine the theme or central idea. Now we have a verb in our I can statement, determine. Can anyone tell me what determines means? Austin? Okay, good.
Yeah.
Great job, Austin.
Fine.
It does mean to find. So that means we're going to be finding the theme or central idea. Great job. Did you go back and maybe pick up on from chapter 1's reading that you didn't realize the first time you read it? Or what's something interesting that you caught when you reread it the second time? Allie?
I caught something that I didn't catch the first time we read it. Like I caught that Gail was Katniss's friend the second time, and I didn't know that was her friend the first time.
Okay, so you saying with the first time you read it, you thought Gail was just a person she met?
Yeah.
Okay, and the second time you realized that Gail is her
Friend.
All right, good. Anyone else? Okay, today we have an activity that we're going to do to help us continue to reach that goal of I can determine the theme or central idea. I am going to give your group a list of questions. There are only 4. You will decide which 2 questions you would like to answer. Think about the theme or central idea, which is the overall message of chapter 1 when you're answering these. Okay? I'll give you about 10 minutes or so. This is not something that you have to write a paragraph for, but it's a short response. Okay? Your group members are there to help you, and you all discuss as a group which 2 questions you would like to answer. Okay, now that you've read over them, I'll read them aloud. The topic says discussion questions for the Hunger Games. Number 1 is, how does Katniss feel about the country of Panem? Number 2, why does she need to make her face in an indifferent mask to be careful, and be careful of what she says in public? Number 3, describe Katniss's relationship with Gale, with Pram, and with her mother. And number 4, how do those relationships define her personality? Okay? So, you choose which questions you would like to answer, which two, as a group. So you may go ahead and discuss which two you think you would like to answer as a group. Speak up.
I think maybe you should answer questions 1 and 2.
Yep.
What do you guys think?
Yeah, we can, yeah, you can answer the question.
Okay, so you've decided you're going to answer questions 1 and 2. Okay? You do not have to rewrite the question. However, how do you think you need to respond if you're not going to write the question? Allie?
Restating the first?
Restating the question. Okay? All right, so go ahead and take care of number 1 and number 2 as a group. You need to discuss what you think the answers are for 1 and 2. When we're figuring out what the question is asking us or what the answer is, what should we do with our book?
Read back in the book.
Okay, reading back in the book, what is that called? What skill is that? Finding what?
Finding textual evidence.
Good job, Andrea. It's finding textual evidence. To help give some direction to your group members, what area should you be looking in as far as finding information? What are you looking for?
Looking for that.
Yes, you are looking for the answer, but what type of information specifically? It is textual evidence. But what is your topic? What are you looking for?
How Katniss feels about her country.
How Katniss feels about her country. I would look for either her name or anything that talks about the capital or Hannah. You found it, Austin? You did?
I'm about
Okay.
to put the progress.
Would you like to share what you found?
Group spaces.
Prim's face is as fresh as a raindrop. Go ahead, Andrew. What were you about to say?
That doesn't sound like anything that would be about the capital.
No, he's at the beginning.
Okay, so what should Austin do if that doesn't sound like anything that goes with your question?
Look, Austin, reading the paragraph where it says, I slept outside. It's on the bottom left.
Think about the section where Katniss and Gale are meeting in the woods, and what type of gift or what type of treat does Gale have? What does he throw in the air?
A loaf of bakery bread.
A loaf of bakery bread. Okay, and then what does Katniss have that goes along with it? Cheese. And there's a third thing that they eat that's already in the area they are. What is the third thing? Berries. So when they decide to go ahead and eat their treat or their snack, what phrase do they say? What does Gale say?
We'll have a real feast.
We'll have a real feast. Is he being serious or is he being sarcastic? Say it loud.
Sarcastic.
He's being sarcastic. How do they feel about the food in their country? There's not very much. So because their country helps to provide the food, what type of feelings is Katniss having towards her country in regard to how the people live?
She's poor. Not poor.
She feels sorry for those people.
Because they don't have enough
They
food.
don't. None of those people have enough food. Not even her.
Okay, so what type of feelings Think about Katniss' character. How do you think she feels according to the text? With not having enough food?
I'm sick.
Okay, so how can we put that into question 1? How does Katniss feel about the country of Hannah?
Katniss
Mm-hmm.
feels upset
Mm-hmm.
with the country of Hannah
Okay,
because there isn't enough food.
do we agree with that? Thumbs up. All right, make it happen. Okay, so from those 2 questions, going back to our I can statement of I can determine the themes or central idea, what theme can we come up with for chapter 1? What message can we come up with that goes with chapter 1? Allie?
The theme that we can come up with for chapter 1 is that Katniss has to watch what she says in public if she talks bad about the country, and she's upset with the country because she doesn't have enough food.
Okay, those are true, but those would be more of main ideas. What's a message, an overall message that we could come up with? That was a good try, Allie. Don't think about the main idea. What's the message? Andrea?
They're trying to save our country.
Okay, trying to save a country. Who is trying to save the country?
The Katniss and Gale.
Okay, she thinks Katniss and Gale are trying to save their country. Let's compare Andrea's answer and Allie's. Which do we think we could use as the theme for chapter 1, and why?
I think we should use Andrews because hers sounded more right than mine. Like hers sounded more of what the story was mainly about.
Okay, Allie says Andrea sounds more of what the story was about. Now yours was also in the story.
Yeah.
So what can we say in terms of a message? About Andrea?
That
Austin, what do you think? Should we give Andrea's a thumbs up or a thumbs down? You think a thumbs up? I see you, Allie. What were you saying, Austin?
I think we should give Andrea a thumbs up because hers has more details than ours.
yeah. Well, no, not necessarily detail.
Not
It just
necessarily details.
it just like sounds better. That's like
Okay, you think it sounds better.
Her sounds.
And actually, Andrea does have the correct thing that Katniss and Gale are trying to save their country. Good job. Give yourselves a pat on the back. How do you feel today about saying I can determine the theme or central idea? How do you feel about that? Give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down if you feel you can do it. Good job. I think you can do it as well. Do we have any questions about the lesson today? What was the skill that we worked on today?
Finding
Finding the theme or the central idea.
Finding the theme or the central idea. How well do you feel you know what the theme or central idea is versus the beginning? Do you think a 1 means I still don't know anything, or a 5, I feel a lot better about it? Okay, I see 5s. Austin, what do you think, a 1 or a 5? 5. Good job. Hold those 5s up. All right.